Developing a trustworthy AI system in this context is quite important in the financial sector, for example. Every time that you go to a bank and then you ask for a loan, then, you arrive there and then you provide your request for the loan, then you speak, and then you also provide your socio-economic profile. And based on that, the banks usually, they have a machine learning system, an AI system, that they will process all this data, and then they will make a recommendation whether your loan should be accepted or not. They can really look at the whole picture. They can really look not only your current socioeconomic profile, your past socioeconomic profile, information about the economy, and they can potentially be able to make a really precise decision about which is the specific quantity, how big can be your loan, and also which is the probability that you will repay the loan. And that will influence greatly in the final decision that they make. This is a technology that we want to use as a society. We need to be sure that the kind of decision that this technology makes are safe and are guaranteed to comply with ethical standard about absence of bias. There are no factors like gender bias or bias based on ethnic, on any other things that we think are not relevant, should not be taken into account with making these kind of decisions. Artificial intelligence system, machine learning system, they are as good as the data they have been used in order to be built. So it usually happens then when people was collecting this data was collected looking at the decision that former people working in a bank, for example in the case of asking for a loan, people working in a bank, they decided to grant the loan to some specific customers and not to others. And then when they were making this decision, some kind of bias based on the ethnic, your nationality, that can be present in the people making the decisions. And then when you later build an artificial intelligence system on top of this data, unfortunately the artificial intelligence system will inherit this bias and will replicate this bias, which is something which is really unacceptable nowadays. Yeah. It's quite important to have open box models, because in that case an external third party supervisor can arrive to a bank, look at the model and really see whether the model complies or not with the standards that we associated can define of about which is acceptable or not for this kind of models, making this kind of relevant decision, which is like accepting your loan or not accepting your loan. There is a trade-off between the possibility that a model can explain what is happening when making a specific decision and the accuracy of the model with making this decision. And then it's we may have models which are really simple to understand why you're making this decision, but maybe these models, they are not very accurate when making the predictions. And the other way around, we can have enormous, we have perfect models making almost perfect prediction, but nobody really understands why are making these predictions. So I think it's a very interesting debate that should take place in society about which is the right trade-offs, the right balance. And then we need to develop tools, that allow us to easily move across these two extremes and find, maybe there are societies where they prefer to have more kind of open, easy, understandable models at the cost of lower accuracy, but maybe we have societies that may prefer to go to the other end. And it's important to have a very well description of this trade-off and have the tools that allow us to move freely around these two extremes. Yeah.